Hey guys, Luis Mono here, 360 Insurance Group. I've got Jordan on today's call. Hey Jordan, good morning.
Hey Luis, good morning.
Jordan is with Health Sherpa, and she's going to be talking about a feature that a lot of us definitely need. I didn't even know we had this till a few months ago, but this is something that you definitely have to utilize, and that is the export feature. But guys, before Jordan goes into all the details, make sure you do a couple of things. Like this video, comment down below because I do respond to all the comments. And most definitely, I need you guys to subscribe. So with that, Jordan, help us agents out. What is the export feature in Health Sherpa and how can we utilize it in our course of business?
Great question and happy to show you how it works today. So I'm going to share my screen here. So here I'm logged into our staging environment, which is a test environment on Health Sherpa, but this should look exactly how your account will look on Health Sherpa. If you have any clients in your account, you'll notice that you'll have this button on the right side of the page. So the way we get here is from the Clients tab. So Clients, and on the right side of the page, we have this Export button. So what you'll do is you'll click on the Export, and this pop-up will appear. First, you'll need to indicate the date range, and what this is doing is going to give you a report of your book of business. So you do have to indicate a date range. A good one to be checking is from maybe January 16th until today. So if you want to look at all of special enrollment so far, during open enrollment, I typically recommend pulling this report at least weekly to be making sure that you're looking through your book of business and that everything looks correct. But you can choose whatever date range you'd like. So let's say we want to look at just the past week. We'll select those dates here. And then you've got the option to include unsubmitted search and claimed. We'll cover that in a moment. And then you just click Export. Once you click the Export button, you'll see this pop-up appear, letting you know that it's in progress and being emailed to you. I will let you know that the larger the file, so let's say you went back 3 years, the longer it's going to take to generate that because it's a lot of data in this report. We'll cover what all of the different columns mean, but just know once you've clicked Request Report, it will be on the way. So it is going to send to the email address that's on file in your Health Sherpa account, and you will need to be logged into Health Sherpa in order to open it. So you'll receive an email that says your export is ready to view. You'll click on the link and it will download a CSV file for you. So depending on what type of computer you're on, if you're on Mac, for me, it downloads a CSV and I prefer to work out of Excel. So you can just convert that into an Excel file if you'd like, but you'll want to use whatever spreadsheet tool that you're most comfortable with. And once that report downloads, we're going to switch over to our export report legend here. Luis will share in the comments our export FAQ from Health Sherpa. So if you haven't read that before, take some time to look through that FAQ and get comfortable with the different reports that Health Sherpa provides. These are all incredibly valuable, and knowing how to use them and what the data means will make you more efficient at working through this and help you manage your business better. So here we're looking at our export legend. Again, this is linked in that FAQ that we'll share, and you'll see that there's a couple of different options on the bottom. Today, we're looking at the client export. So this report has over 150 columns in it, which is why we're spending some time talking through it today. There's a lot of data in here. You may want to add a filter on this top row so that you can filter by, whichever piece of data you're looking at. So the first section here is primary contact information. This is pretty self-explanatory. The important column to look at is the date of birth. So I know Luis has an awesome tool, his CRM, where you can really be looking at which of your clients are aging into Medicare, and he'll show you that in a little bit, but it's going to pull off of this date of birth column. Another thing that you might want to keep in mind is if your client has a birthday throughout the year, that's a perfect time to be reaching out to them and checking in. And again, Luis will cover that with his awesome CRM in a few minutes. Our next section is their primary address. The next information is plan information. So again, you can get as sophisticated as you want with this report. If you really want to look across your book and say, okay, how many of my clients are enrolled in bronze plans or silver plans, you can filter this and do analysis on it however you'd like. So the next column we'll talk about is the submission date. So whoops, didn't mean to click on that. So when you are downloading the report, I mentioned you have the option to include unsubmitted search and claimed applications. What that is when you are on Health Sherpa and you click the search marketplace link, if let's say you answer a call from a prospect and you look up their record on the marketplace and you add them to your dashboard and they say, hey, Luis, I want you to be my new agent, and you added them to your dashboard, the action of adding them to your dashboard allows you to view any records from the marketplace. Again, you've received permission to work on their behalf, so they've consented to that, but it doesn't necessarily make you agent of record. So that action of searching and adding to your dashboard is what Health Sherpa calls a search and claim. That's important to know about because now that you're working with this client, you want to be receiving carrier commissions and supporting them throughout the year. But if you pull an export and this submission date column is blank, you likely did a search and claim and have not submitted that application. So if you're looking at your carrier commission file and your export and you're saying, why am I not getting paid for this client? This could be one of the reasons is you have not submitted that application to the carrier. So they wouldn't know that you're working with that client. So this is a good column AF here to look for any blanks. The other thing I'll just point out.
Let me explain something here to agents, because this is vital. I get this question all the time. Luis, I added it to my book of business. Doesn't that make me the agent? And guys, it does not. All that it does is it's giving you a snapshot of the household and the policy that they're in. So you are not the agent of record at that point. If they have given you permission, guys, and that's the key, because here's what we want to do, guys. We do not want to be thieves. I would just tell you, there's an organization out there that is focusing on agent of record changes, which is another word for stealing somebody else's work. Okay, now, if the insured truly consented to you being the agent of record, fine. You know, maybe that other agent's not helping them out anymore, or maybe they don't have an agent. Okay, there's no AOR. Then, of course, we can process the agent of record. But as Jordan was saying, you have to submit an application. Well, you don't submit a new one, guys. What you do is you report a life change and you process a change. Okay, so there has to be a change process so that the new carrier knows that you are now the agent of record, and you have to submit it completely. And I will warn you guys, don't just go with next, because there's could be some data in there that when it was originally entered, that data was valid, like dates. Well, now that you're resubmitting stuff, it may not be valid anymore. So you could create some issues for this insured if you don't do it right. So when you do get that permission from an insured for you to be that agent of record, make sure that you're completing an intake form. Okay, gather all their data. Find out what's going on in that household. Maybe it's a mom, dad, and 2 kids, but the 2 kids are on the plan. This is what I see very, very often. They're on the plan, but their income, there was an issue with, not an issue with their income, but somehow they got a denial of Medicaid. Okay, this is the big one. They get a denial of Medicaid, and the original application had a date that was valid. It was within the last 90 days. Well, let's just say you come in and you use that same date, but it's not within 90 days. Well, what's going to happen is going to kick the kids to CHIP or Medicaid. Now, before you know it, and you process the whole application and you didn't pay attention to that, now all of a sudden the kids aren't insured anymore. Now the system thinks that they're on Medicaid, and you went from insuring mom, dad, and kids to just mom and dad. Now you've really jacked up their plan. So I would, if you're going to do this, you have their consent and you fill out an intake sheet. Okay, so you got mom, dad, and kids, gather all their data, fill it all out, and process it like a new application. Okay, that's just my recommendation here. But just what's the term, Jordan? Import to your book of business, or what's that little button look like when you search it and you want to add it to add to your book of business.
Correct. Yep. So you would add them to your clients, and that's a great point, Luis, because you don't want to just resubmit it, because especially if they're staying in the same plan, or maybe you're changing the plan, the client needs to understand, is their deductible going to change? Is their max out of pocket changing? So don't just assume that you can go in and resubmit it because you want to now receive commissions. It may not always be the best thing for the client. So you can call the carrier and check with them what options you have, but the intake form is an excellent example, and that is really doing the right thing for the client.
Yeah, ultimately, it's just not about making money, guys. And make sure you have no idea what the other agent put in. So there are some disclaimers on some of these ads that I've seen that puts their income at the minimum limit. Well, what if their income is not there? So you ask the information for the income, so that way you can do a good, accurate, and a good job for these insureds and put them into the right plan. And Jordan, you hit a point. If you switch them from one plan to another, if it's within the carrier, normally the money spent towards the deductible and the out-of-pocket will roll over. But if you switch them to a different carrier, you're resetting that clock. You're resetting that deductible. You're resetting that out-of-pocket. And that is not going to be a good thing for that insured if they've already spent money on their other plan. So there's a lot more to it than just doing an agent of record change. So do it for the right reason.
Great point there. So the next section we'll spend some time on here is really how you are tracking your clients. And this is really important, and it gets a little bit into the weeds. So if you ever have questions, you can always contact our support team and they'd be happy to walk you through this. So we've downloaded our export, and now we're looking at columns AG through AI. So the thing to know about AG is it's going to tell you likely just your name. So you were the writing agent on the policy. So this should stay static. The NPN used would be the NPN used at the time of submission. So if I was writing the policy, it would say Jordan here and it would have my NPN. These two columns do not change ever in the export. So this is when the application is submitted. Now, it's important for you to understand that if I submit this application and then somebody else goes in and processes a change and resubmits it, AG and AH are going to stay the same. I will add that our team is doing some really cool work and discovery on how we can make these reports more valuable this year, but this is how it functions today. So expect these two columns to stay the same. Now, if another agent processes a change, column AI, the NPN reason, would change. And so this is where what you need to know is if this column says agent, that means that I am agent of record on this policy. Now, Luis, if you go into your Health Sherpa and you click on a client's name, so let's do an example here. Queen Elizabeth today. Our team
all right, let's go.
Some
yes,
creative options in here. So we open up this policy here, and the action of clicking on the client's name from your dashboard does a refresh with the marketplace. So this is pulling in the most up-to-date information. And the next question that I always get asked is, well, why can't you just update all of my policies all at once whenever I tell you to? Well, CMS doesn't allow us to do that. So what you need to know is opening up your client will give you the most up-to-date information. I'll show you a faster way to do some refreshing as well. But if you ever need to check a specific client or policy, click on the client's name and then come to this page here. You'll see this section here, and this is what you can match up against your export. So you're going to see agent of record. If it is not you any longer, this section will change to other party. So what's important to know is that, let's say I downloaded my export today and I am the agent of record on the policy. A week from now, I pull the export again and I have just received my carrier commissions and this client has fallen off my commission statement and I don't know why. I'm going to open up this column or this page here, and this status can change. But the piece to understand is that the export is not going to update to other party without you doing the refresh here. So you might think, okay, well, I've got 200 clients in my book of business. How am I going to manage 200 refreshes? It is manual, unfortunately, and we'd love to find a solution to make that easier for you. But at this present time, it does require a refresh. So my best piece of advice would be you can change this to display more clients, and the action of clicking on the client will do the refresh for you. So for example, I'm holding down my command key and I just click on a few of these and it's opening up new tabs. that's just refreshing in the background for me. I don't have to open up these pages. I could just click on all of those and then go pull a new export. So I'm not saying go in and do this every single day. That takes a lot of time. But when you get your carrier commission files, you may want to do a refresh and just look for any gaps between what's on your carrier report and your export. The other way that you can refresh is you can see here in this section here, we can click on this little refresh icon, and that's going to refresh the policy as well. So we've added some ways for you to kind of work through this quickly. Luis, you've got an amazing CRM that does a lot of the legwork for everybody as well. So we'll talk about that at the end of our presentation today.
And I will tell you guys what she's sharing with you here, that export, what you want to do is you want to sort column AI by, just sort alphabetical, I think is what I did. And so you just got to go and find the ones that say other party. And those were the ones that will switch from you to some other agent. Okay. What I would do with that list, man, this is what I'm doing now because I know what's going out there. They're pushing for AOR changes. And I'm like, I know my clients. I talk to every client that I enroll. Okay. I may not verbally talk to them, but I may communicate with them by email or by text. And I know that we do our job. We pick the right plans based on their doctors, their medications, and what they can afford. So for somebody to come in here and take my clients, I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm going to jump all over this. So when I go see other party in here, it's game on, guys. I am now looking at this. What I'm doing is I'm sorting out, I'm finding those clients that are leaving me. And the fortunate thing for me is that a lot of mine, I'm already warning them about what's out there in the market. These clickbait ads that are out there, my clients already know about it. It's part of my workflow to say, hey, don't click on these things. All they're trying to do is they're trying to steal you away from me. And look, this is what the ads look like. So don't do that. Anyway, find those clients and recontact them. Hey, Jordan, what happened? And they're gonna be like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Luis? I'm like, well, I went in there, we're just looking at your file and I noticed I'm not your agent anymore. Somebody else is your agent. Jordan's next question is going to be, if she is not even aware of it, it's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, yeah, you must have clicked on some ad, but somebody took you away from me. And now they got access to all your data. Not a good thing.
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do, Jordan. I still want to be your agent. Can you shoot me a quick email? Okay. And Jordan, just on that email, just tell me that, hey, you didn't give anybody permission to take you away from me and that you still want me to be your agent of record. That's it. And at that point, I'm going to go in there and do my thing and get you back.
And that is really best practice. I mean, that is the best possible thing that you could be doing. That is what CMS wants you to do. And that is the right thing for the client. So that's a great point, Luis.
Yes, definitely do that, guys. That's how you're going to find your book and get them back because they're out there doing this, guys. I've got a pretty big book of business. I think I'm at a little over 3,000 and it's a handful for me. But some of you guys are experiencing this at a much higher level. And so if you see it out there, if you're doing it to other agents and then the incumbent agent is doing it back to you, well, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, that's number one. Okay, go get your own business, go run your own ads and spend your own money and build your own personal book and then protect your book. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys. You want to protect the book that you worked hard for. Jordan, is there anything else on this export legend that agents should be aware of?
Yeah, so we'll cover a couple of other things. So we talked about how it can refresh. The other piece that I'll point out is we get asked all the time, well, hey, I'd love to know who took my client. Why doesn't Health Sherpa show me that? Well, we don't show you that today, but if you do want to be looking through, let's say you are seeing a trend in your book. Let's say one particular carrier, you're seeing a lot of those policies switch to other party. In Health Sherpa, you can use what we call our double redirect. So either of these links up top, Start Application or Search Marketplace, if we click on one of these, you can use the healthcare.gov redirect. I don't have access to it from our testing environment here, but if you click on that, you can search the client just like you would on Health Sherpa, but this allows you to get into the healthcare.gov application. And towards the end of that application, you can see the current NPN on the policy. So if you did want to go look for, if there was one particular agent that's taking your book of business, you can use the double redirect to do that. And you might wonder, okay, well, I figure out who it is and it's one agent that's stealing some of my clients. You can report that to our team. Our team can also advise you on how to report it to CMS. I'll be totally honest, we've seen a lot of this happening this year. So I think we're still trying to figure out the best practice to work with you all and give you better tools for keeping your clients and managing your book. But if you're concerned about client theft, you can contact our legal team at legal@healthsherpa.com, and they'll open up an investigation to see what's going on.
And
So
I will tell you, and this is good news, Jordan. God, it's going to put these guys out of business, and I cannot wait. Some carriers are already not allowing AOR changes.
Yep, I've heard that.
It's going to become very much like Medicare. And since for me, I'm like, I don't like to do AOR changes. I don't want to go steal some other agent's book of business. They probably worked hard for it. I got enough on my own plate to handle what I organically do. So I cannot wait for all the carriers to jump on this bandwagon and not allow AORs. I know 2 carriers right now. One's already been doing it for a while, but there's a new one that just started. They're not allowing AOR changes. And I have a feeling you guys that wasted that money on that course on how to do this, what's going to happen is all these other carriers are going to jump on board and not allow AOR changes. And I cannot wait for that to happen. That's going to be a great, great thing.
Yeah. And to your point, Luis, doing the best thing for the client is really how you are going to build those long relationships with your clients. And they'll remember, hey, Luis has taken care of me over all of these years. Even if, let's say, Luis, maybe you didn't get commissions for 3 months while you were supporting me, but then, hey, open enrollment's around the corner. You process my 2024 app, which is crazy to be saying 2024 already. And then you do receive commissions for that. And then guess what? When I'm aging into Medicare, you're going to be the person that I call, and you're able to sell me all of those other products that you have. So again, doing the right thing for the client will end up benefiting you in the long run.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple of other columns that I'd like to just cover quickly here. So the follow-up documents is a helpful column, so you can just keep track of document requests from the marketplace. This does pull real time, so no refresh is required. So again, make sure that you're taking care of those document uploads for your client. You want to make sure they don't lose their subsidy. I know, Luis, with your intake form and your CRM, you all do a great job of making sure you try to get all of this up front so that you aren't chasing this down after the fact. But again, the purpose of this report is to give you the tools you need to be managing your book of business as efficiently as possible. A lot of other really helpful information in here. The other piece I wanted to cover was towards the very end of the report, and I know this is a huge report, there's 150 something columns in here, is all the way on the right. So I'm going to scroll real fast here. We've got a last EDE sync, column ES. So we were talking about that need to refresh a policy. My advice here would be you're sorting your book by other party, and then maybe drag and drop this column over so you can see last EDE sync. And if you see that one of your clients has not been refreshed in a month, probably a good idea to go hit refresh and make sure that you don't see other party or some sort of change on there. But the purpose of this column is so that maybe you don't have to click through all 500 or all 3,000 of your clients, Louise. You can really filter by, okay, it's been 2 weeks on this person, so I'm going to click on their name and do it accordingly. So if you're not familiar with this report, definitely spend some time looking through the legend. You can find it in the FAQ, which we'll share with you all. You can click on it right at the top of the FAQ, and hopefully this will be a really helpful tool for you all. And again, if you have questions, please reach out to us.
And guys, I'm going to share this link down at the bottom in the description. And I just cannot wait to share with you right now, guys. I've been like, come on, Jordan, let me in. All right, let me show you what I have done. So I took my report and I took a bunch of columns off. I just deleted. I got the name of my insureds. I got their date of birth. And what I did is I created a little mini Excel of all my people, and I uploaded it to my agent CRM, my preferred tool. And then what I did is I gave it a tag. I told them, hey, I want all of these people to have this tag. So just think of it as a label. Now what I did is I did a quick search. I said, find me all the people that have this tag. Boom, give me my list. Okay. Now I'm going to take this entire list and I'm going to make it go to work. I'm going to do something. This is like I have gold in my mind down there that I got to go dig for. Okay. So I created my shovel. I guess I can't think of something better to call it. So I'm going to share with you one of my shovels. Okay. Let me get the little share button here. Check this out, guys. This is a workflow that I created. It's going to take all of these people that are in the workflow, and it's going to find them when they turn 64 and a half. And if you're wondering what's so significant about that, well, for us that sell Medicare, this is the holy grail of leads. You guys go crazy for turning 65 leads. All of us do, because we know we make the big bucks here. Okay. So what it does is it puts it on our radar. Hey, you've got somebody that's turning 64 and a half. And then what it starts doing, it starts contacting your people to let them know, hey, this is what you have to do. So let's look at my text message. I'm just going to share one way. I'm not going to give you all of my gold here. Check it out. So here's the text message that it sends out. Hey, so-and-so, happy birthday. Okay, I know it's 6 months too early, but I wanted to reach out to you, let you know that at 64 and a half, I have a lot of experience with Medicare and would be happy to help you navigate the system. As you approach retirement age, it can be overwhelming to understand all the options available, but I can help break it down and make it easy for you. Let me know if you have any questions and let's schedule a time to chat. They can click on this link, which is a clickable link, and it sends them to my calendar. Okay, so it's going to send them a text message. It's going to send them an email, and it's going to, as it continues, it's going to let them know that it's time to enroll in Medicare, where they can go do that. I can help them out. They can go Social Security. They can go online. It's going to do that for them. And bottom line, guys, it's on my radar. I miss every now and then, Jordan, and this is awful. I'll get a call from one of my insurance like, hey, Luis, I need to cancel my ACA policy. I'm like, what happened? Well, I'm turning 65. I'm like, oh, beautiful. I can help you. I'm like, well, I went somewhere else. I didn't know you did Medicare. So somebody else helped me. I'm like, geez, I just lost out on a chunk of change and a client that I'm going to probably have for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, the value of one Medicare client is, 5 figures. It's huge. And I could have lost that. I lost it because it was never on my radar. This is one of my workflows. Okay. The other workflow that I have for this list, this is a pretty neat system. I take all of these people, and what we're going to do is we're going to send them an email that says, hey, Jordan, thank you for getting your policy with us. A little, I'm going to butter her up, but then I'm going to go in for the kill. Hey, Jordan, you should know that your policy does not have dental and vision. By the way, I can help you with it. That's one of the workflows. And you're going to get that text and email 1 month. The second month, hey, Jordan, I hope you're doing well. Hey, by the way, you do know your policy has a maximum out of pocket. A lot of people don't know that, but that's your worst case scenario in a year. I've got a plan that can help you with that in case you're involved in an accident or if you're hospitalized due to a sickness. Okay, I can take care of that for you. Get with me and I'll help you out. Then next month, Jordan, hope you're doing well. I was thinking about you. Hey, do you have life insurance? Most people are probably going to say, yes, I got it at work. Well, I'm so glad you do. But with nowadays, you may not be at work forever. Okay. Right. You should always have a policy on the outside. So blah, blah, blah. I can help you out. And then since I'm a multi-lines agency, hey, Jordan, where's your auto insurance? Has your rates gone up? Let me help you out with your rates. Right. And then I'll send another one about home insurance. And then I'll just recycle and now I'm going to keep hitting Jordan up every single month with an email and a text message. And then when it comes to open enrollment, guess what you're going to get from me, Jordan? Jordan, you better not leave me, girl. You're mine. Okay. You better not go to any other agent. I can help you out on renewal. So you need to stay with me. Call me if you're not happy with your plan or there are some changes. I'm your guy. You call me and I'll get you taken care of. Here's all my contact information. Or by the way, if you just want to schedule an appointment, click on this link and we'll set up a time for me to visit with you on Zoom. So guys, it is an incredible tool to use from your ACA book of business. I mean, and the tool that I use, I don't have to hire somebody for that. Okay. I'm using just a CRM. It costs me $97 a month to run all that. A little bit of work on the front end and on the back end. It's beautiful. So if you want information on my CRM, guys, down below is the link. Use my link because here's what you're going to get, guys. All of these workflows that I've created for Medicare, for ACA and life insurance. And if you're a PNC guy and you want the auto and home, I'll give it to you. I will give you everything that I've created. So use my link. You get a 14-day free trial. Play with it. If you like it, continue with it. And then you will get all my workflows. And all you have to do is tweak them out for you. Change my name to your name. Use your own calendar system. There's a few things you've got to do. But other than that, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to figure out the system of getting the 64.5-year-olds on your radar. All you've got to do is plug in my workflow to your clients. And then now they're going to be on your radar. And guys, Health Sherpa's given us that export. Does it cost them anything to get that export, Jordan?
Nope. Everything is included in your free account.
Beautiful. And then get it every month. I didn't even think about doing it every week, but it's a more manageable list if you do it weekly.
Definitely.
Yeah, think about that. So so I'm going to pull my last export, and I have the date because we're working on it. It was April the 14th. So I'm going to go from the 15th to now and find out, hey, have I lost any clients? What changes have happened? And I also like the fact that you can search and see what eligibility requirements need to be satisfied, so my clients don't lose their subsidies. So super cool, guys. I hope you're thinking they're like, oh man. And Jordan, I want to share one thing because I have been recruiting a lot of agents, and I still want to recruit. I'm going to tell you guys, there's a lot of money to be made in ACA. The ship hasn't sailed. Okay, go to my channel. I've got videos right now on the ways that we can write business outside of open enrollment. We've got a lot of special elections that we can utilize. Okay, I'm going to share a few right now. The one that we utilize quite a bit is losing coverage. Okay, we are nationally going through the unwinding of Medicaid and CHIP. A lot of people are having to requalify, and what's happening is either they don't qualify or they're too lazy and they don't qualify. They don't resubmit. So they're going to be losing their Medicaid or CHIP going forward. This is going to create the ability for us to write them. And they've made that SEP super hard to understand, right, Jordan? What's the name of that SEP?
I think it's the unwinding SEP, but it's definitely complicated. And so that's another area where you as the agent can just add so much value to somebody that says, I just lost my coverage. I don't know what to do.
And they're not going to know what to do. These people have no idea. So the unwinding, the loss of regular coverage, the relocating, and also we have a low income SCP. So there's a lot of ways to write business right now, guys, outside of open enrollment. So don't think that I'll get into this later and I'll get into it right before open enrollment. You want to do it now. So with that, guys, if you're interested, hit me up with an email. We'll have a little chat about contracting and your business and see what you want to do. And if everything works out, we will get you all set up wherever you're selling. And we are national, guys. So we will definitely help you out. Jordan, any final words?
No, this was awesome. Super excited to be able to share this today, learn more about your CRM. Definitely let us know if we can help you all. Always happy to be here. Luis, thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. And guys, take advantage of that export feature. If you're not using Health Sherpa, guys, that's the only tool I use. I know there's other ones out there, but Health Sherpa is it is my tool to quote, enroll, and then maintain my book of business, guys. It lets me know, not only does it let me know, but it also has a bunch of other automations where it lets the insureds know, hey, you've got some documents you got to submit. Take care of your business. Otherwise, you're going to lose your subsidies and your rates are going to skyrocket. So Health Sherpa has all that built in. It's a great tool to use. Make sure you're using it. And I think that's it, Jordan.
All right. Thanks, Luis.
All right. So thank you for watching, guys. Remember, don't forget, all that information will be down below. Make sure you like, comment on the video, guys. I always respond, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.